breath is coming in and the breath is going out. And that's another part of your practice you can use to anchor yourself to the present moment. From this place, begin to bring just a little bit of movement into your body. If your legs are extended, begin to bend your knees and draw them in toward your chest. And as you draw your knees in towards your chest, it might feel good to rock a little bit from side to side or circle the knees. It's like you're giving yourself a little massage, your lower back against the ground. Now keep the right knee in toward your chest and let your left leg release onto the ground. So the left leg can be bent or straight. And then maybe rotate the right foot, loosen the ankle a couple times in either direction. The knee is drawing in toward the chest or toward the right armpit, whichever feels a little bit more accessible. And then from here, we're going to find extension with the leg. So sole of the foot is going to press toward the ceiling. If you have a strap, you can use it around the ball of your foot. If you don't have a strap, just simply interlace your hands behind your right thigh if that feels okay. Yeah, just finding a little bit of connection here. Sole of the foot is flexed, like you're pressing your foot to the ceiling. And just take a couple of breaths here, feeling the back of the right leg start to open. Head is still resting, as are the shoulders. Back of the body on the ground. A couple more breaths here. Good morning, Amy. We're starting on our backs. Welcome. Good. One more breath. Good. Now, if you have a strap or something looped around the ball of your foot, take it into your right hand, both sides. And we're going to open the right foot out to the right side of the room. Now, if you don't have a strap, you could consider taking like a tree pose on your back. That might be a little more accessible without the strap. So you can decide. We're just looking to open up the right inner thigh a little bit. So the adductor. Yeah, so you're going to need to not only stretching here, but it's also activated. It's working. So it's an active stretch. Yeah. Good. Left leg is on the ground, resting. Left hip is still grounded. One more breath here. And then use your right inner thigh muscle to draw the right knee back through center. And then take the strap into your left hand, or just cross that right knee to the other side of the body. So just coming into a twist now. Yeah, so we're gonna let that right leg come all the way across instead of stopping like we sometimes do. So coming into the full spinal twist. Again, you can do this with your leg extended with a strap, or you can simply bend your right knee and send it to the left side for a spinal twist. So just working with what you have today. Whatever that is, it's where you're supposed to be. Just one more breath here. And then go ahead and make your way back to center. Release your strap. Bend both legs, feet to the ground. And cross your right ankle over your left thigh and just take a figure 4. Okay, so left foot can stay on the ground, or the left thigh can draw toward your chest. Maybe you interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Okay, you can be still, or you can find a little bit of rocking here. Totally up to you. Just a few breaths here. And one more breath in. One more breath out. And release the stretch. Take a moment to move in a way that feels good here. So if you want to extend your legs out, just bring your feet to the ground. Take a moment, find that transition, and then we will hug the left knee into the chest. So switching sides. As you draw your left knee toward your chest or your left armpit, maybe circle the left foot, loosen the ankle. Good. And then go ahead and extend the left sole of the foot to the ceiling, finding extension, either using your strap or simply interlacing your hands behind your left thigh. Left toes pull down toward your face. And so it's a hard flex in the foot. It's an active stretch. Take the tension out of the shoulders and the jaw. And just notice the sensation of opening up the back of the left leg. One more breath in. One more breath out. Take both straps into your left hand if you're using it. Open the leg out to the left side of the room. And if extending the leg like this is a little too intense, feel free to bend the leg and take tree pose on your back with your left leg bent. And while you're opening up the inside of the left inner thigh, see if you can bring a little fire into the inner thigh as well. So it's a combination of strengthening and stretching. Just one more breath here. And then use the left inner thigh muscle to draw the left leg back through center. And then take the strap into the other hand. Cross the body and find a spinal twist. So again, you can keep the leg straight for your spinal twist, or you can simply bend the left leg and cross it over to the right. Good. Left arm is open up to the side, opening the front of the left shoulder. Side body long. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bring yourself back through center. Remove your strap, bend both legs, feet to the ground. And now we'll find our figure 4 on the other side. The left ankle on top of the right thigh. Figure 4 can be still, or you can rock a little bit if that feels good in your body. And 2 more breaths here. And go ahead and release the stretch. Take a moment or two to bring yourself back to neutral, whatever that feels like in your body. So allowing parts of this practice to be intuitive. Good. In the next couple of breaths, we're going to bring the knees back to the chest. And then use your legs to give yourself a little momentum and rock forward and back. Yeah, so forward and back, eventually bringing yourself all the way up to seated. And we'll make the transition to hands and knees. And now as you set yourself up for hands and knees, start to move through your cat and cow stretches. So take your time. And allow any variations here to just come up for you. So yeah, if you need to stretch your wrists, you can try rotating the hands maybe. You can move the hips from side to side, finding a little more lateral flexion. You can move your head side to side if you need to release more neck tension. Just allowing the sensations that come up to inform your practice. So I'm here to guide you through this practice, and I will guide you through this practice, but you always can tweak the practice to meet your own needs. This is your practice. 3 more breaths here, exploring your cat and cow stretches. And then in the next few breaths, when you feel ready, we're going to start to head back to downward facing dog. So you'll tuck the toes, you'll lift the hips up and back. As you come into your first downward facing dog, you might want to pedal your feet out or move your hips from side to side. And doing those things that feel good. another 2 slow, deep breaths here. Lengthening the spine. So really press into your hands. Lengthen the hips up and back. Good. On your next breath in, glide forward into plank pose. And then hold there. So you can always drop to your knees if you need a little more support. Otherwise, wrists are under the shoulders. Lower belly's pulling up and in. Inner thighs are lifting toward the ceiling. Heels press back. And one more breath in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Good. So as you make that shift back to down dog, you're contracting your lower abdominals. You're letting them lift you up and back. Good. One more time, come forward into plank pose. And this time, see if you can get the idea that your hands are pressing into the ground. And then imagine that you were going to slide your hands back. They're not going to move, but now you're firing up the muscle alongside your body, like under your armpit. Okay, so it's just connecting to your core a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale, lower all the way onto your belly. Good. So with or without your knees, up to you. And now reach your arms back alongside your body, palms facing down. Press your feet to the ground. Lengthen and lift just your upper body. Okay, so now we're waking up the muscles along the back of the body. Neck is long. So it's like we're waking up the core, which is 360, front, side, back. It's not just the abdominals. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Rest your forehead. Take a break. Take a deep breath in. Let the breath release. Good. Now slide your fingertips next to your chest. Elbows are bent. Draw your elbows toward one another and feel that even before you lift your upper body, your upper back is already working here. Good. Now add that element of lengthening and lifting. You don't have to go very high to make this work. So we're strengthening our postural muscles, the muscles that help us stand up straight. Good. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Good. When you're ready, slide back to child's pose and just give yourself a nice round and release of the spine. It should feel pretty good. If puppy pose feels better for you, so puppy pose is hips above the knees instead of hips resting on the heels, you can do that. And take one more breath in this posture. And then bring yourself back to hands and knees. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into the air. Keep your hips level. Right heel presses back. Good, really nice. Look forward between your hands. Step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left shin to the ground for a low lunge. Good, so left shin is on the ground, right foot is pressing down. Good, when you're ready, go ahead and lift your upper body. Okay, so arms can go straight up. Other option, if you want, try hooking your thumbs together and pulling your hands apart. Okay, so this just gets into the upper body a little bit more. Okay, totally optional. Good, now while you do that, I want you to think about pressing your left shin down and your right foot down. And then imagine that you were going to drag your left shin forward and your right heel back. So it's that zipping up action. Okay, so it's super active. You're connecting to your core and lifting your chest. One more breath. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the top of the mat. Left hand stays down, right hand on your right thigh. Good, just give yourself a gentle twist to the right. Yep, that's it. Good, keep that connection to the ground. Don't rotate the hips. It's not the hips, it's spinal rotation. Yeah, so you have to articulate your abdominal muscles a little bit, your oblique muscles. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down, step back, downward facing dog. Now you can choose to stay in down dog and just breathe. Or if you want, go ahead and glide forward into your plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale to a cobra or a locust, or if you want to do up dog and you're ready, go ahead and do that. And then we all meet back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, left leg extends back. Hips are level. And now step the left foot between your hands. Right shin connects to the ground. So setting up your low lunge with your legs first. And then when you feel connected to the ground and balanced, then you lift your upper body. And once your upper body comes up, decide what you want to do with your hands. If you're doing that thumb hook, consider that you might want to hook the other one in front. So it's probably the one that feels weird is the one that you didn't do. Good. If your thumbs are hooked, drop your shoulders down and think about pulling your arms apart. Yeah. Really nice. Now zip up the inner thighs. Find your connection to your core. So there's nothing passive here. One more deep breath in. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Right hand stays down, left hand comes to your left thigh. Gently rotate your upper body to the left now. And broaden across your chest. And really see if you can focus on finding that rotation from your oblique muscles, your side body muscles. Keep the connection of the legs pressing into the ground. One more breath in. Exhale, both hands to the top of the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Option to move through a flow, that chaturanga if you want, or just stay in down dog. Hands and knees and child's pose, always an option. And from down dog, right leg lifts up. Same thing. And press through the right heel. Look forward between your hands. Right foot steps between the hands. This time keep the left knee lifted and come up into a high lunge. So crescent lunge. Yeah, back knee is lifted. So set your feet up first so that you feel balanced. You want your feet to be on separate tracks. So you might need to widen them. Good, now right leg is bent deep, left heel is lifted. Arms come up. Option to keep your arms extended up, or if you want, try eagle arms. Right arm under the left arm, wrap them up. Okay, so just mixing it up a little bit. If your arms are in eagle arms, lift your elbows so they're shoulder height. And then consider pressing your forearms away from your face a little bit. So opening up the space between the shoulder blades. Okay, so now that you have your upper arms where you want them, make sure your legs are working. Right leg is bent deep, left, the back of your left thigh is lifting toward the ceiling, left heel is pressing back. Good. One more big breath in. Exhale, release the arms. Hands come to the top of the mat. Left hand stays down. Right arm opens up. Spinal twist. Good. Again, using your oblique muscles to rotate the spine. Good. And then notice if you're leaning into your left hand and see if you can lift onto your left fingertips. Yeah, so that you're using your core muscles a little bit more. Last breath in here. Exhale, right hand comes down, step back, downward facing dog. An option to move through a chaturanga or simply stay in down dog. Give yourself a break in child's pose. Good, big breath in, big breath out. Good. Left leg lifts up. Press through the left heel, hips are level. And then step your left foot between your hands, set yourself up for crescent lunge. So the feet are on separate tracks. Once your legs feel steady, the arms come up. And then decide if you want to leave your arms extended or if you want to take eagle arms. The left arm will come under the right arm this time. Wrapping up for eagle arms, lift your elbows to shoulder height. Press your forearms away from your face. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. And find a connection of your inner thighs and your lower belly. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Release your hands. Bring them back down to the ground. Right fingertips stay down. Left arm opens up, spinal twist. Open arm twist here. Good. Broaden across your chest. Reach your left fingertips straight up. Yeah. A little bit more. And exhale, left hand comes down, step it back, downward facing dog. Option to move through a chaturanga or just hang out in down dog. And so warming up the body, finding a little bit of rhythm. From downward facing dog, walk your feet to your hands. So at the top of your mat, take your feet a little bit wider, soften your knees, and let your upper body fold forward. Good. Feet plugging into the ground, back of the body lengthening here. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. And your next breath in, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come all the way up to standing. Arms extend upward. Exhale, hands to your heart. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, arms extend upward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Option to stay in down dog and just breathe. If you need that chaturanga, if you need more heat, go ahead and take it. So this is your practice. Make choices that work for you today. And take one more breath in. One more breath out. Right leg lifts up. This time, bend the right knee. Let the right knee open up. So you're finding side body length here. Right hand presses down. Look forward between your hands. Step your right foot forward. We're going to come into warrior two. Yep. So left toes are going to turn out to the side. Come all the way up. Open into warrior two. Take your time. So that transition doesn't always come exactly, as smooth as we want it to. So take your time. I'm going to go ahead and jump on my mat in case you need a visual. My right foot is facing forward. My left toes are facing the side of my mat. Warrior two. Your right leg is bent nice and deep. Let your gaze fall on your right fingertips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Legs stay in the same place. It's just the front leg straightens. And then we're going to reach the right arm forward. Get long in the side body. Right hand to the right shin. Left arm extends to the ceiling. Good. Finding length in the side body. Good. So the neck and the head, it's just an extension of the spine here. So if it feels uncomfortable to look up, you can look forward, or you can look down at your right ankle. That's fine too. Good. Feet connected to the ground. Lengthen the spine. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, lift your upper body back through warrior two. Bend your right knee, right forearm to right thigh, extended side angle. So staying in these open hip postures a little bit longer, opening up the right hip. There's a deep bend in my right leg. The outside of my left foot is pressing into the ground. Good. Find a nice long line of energy from the outside of the left foot through the left fingertips. One more breath in. And as you exhale, bring both hands down to the inside of the right foot. So now my left heel is going to lift, and I'm going to walk my right foot towards the right side of my mat. So coming into an active lizard pose. So I'm continuing to open up my right hip. My hands are on the mat. My spine is extended, so I'm not rounding forward, but I'm staying lifted. Left inner thighs lifting. A deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, hands press into the ground, step back, downward facing dog. So now we're facing the back of the mat. I'm sorry, no, we're not facing, I'm sorry. I was facing the back of my mat. You're in downward facing dog. My bad. Downward facing dog. Hips lifting up and back, hands pressing into the mat. Good. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Stay in down dog. Take a child's pose or move yourself through a chaturanga. Good. Really nice. One more big breath in. One more big breath out. Good. This time, left leg lifts up. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. Good. Press into your mat with your left hand. Find that side body stretch. And then step the left foot between your hands and open up into warrior two. So just coming to the other side. Let's set your warrior two up. Take your time. So upper body is facing the side of your mat. Good, really nice. The left leg is bent nice and deep. Good. Steady your gaze over your left fingertips. And then really press the outside of your right foot down. Good. One more. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, straighten the left leg, preparing for triangle. Reach the left arm forward, get long in the side body. And then lower the left hand either to your leg or the ground or a block. And keep your chest nice and broad. And spine long. And see if you can find that connection to your inner thighs here. That pulling up and in to support your side body. One more breath in. One more breath out. As you inhale, lift yourself back through warrior two, just for a breath. And then settle your left forearm on your left thigh for extended side angle. Right arm reaches up and over. And then see if you can find that line of energy of your right foot, the outside of your right foot pressing into the ground, and then traveling alongside the right side of your body through your right fingertips. Good. Find length on the left side too now, between the left hip and the left armpit. One more breath in. And then bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Right heel lifts up. Good. So lizard pose, other side. See if you can keep the right knee lifted. So it's more of an active lizard. You're working the back leg and the front leg. Now the hands are on the inside of the left foot. If the left knee is trying to wing out to the left side, hug it to the outside of the left arm. Yeah. Good. Connect to your inner thighs, lower belly. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Good. Inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. Turn your head to the side and rest. Really nice. Turn your forehead to face the mat. Bring your arms back alongside your body, palms facing down. And on your next breath in, lengthen and lift your upper and lower body. Yeah, coming into locust pose. So strengthening the whole back of the body here. Lift and lengthen. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, release, and rest. Locust pose number 2. You can repeat the same variation if you want, or you can interlace your hands behind your back. When you're ready, lengthen and lift. Get long. Upper and lower body lift. And feel the whole back of the body light up here. It's not so important how high you get, but I want you to feel like you're getting long. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Turn your head to the side and rest. And one more back strengthener or back bend. So if you would like to bend your knees and reach back for your ankles or your feet, you're welcome to take a bow pose here, or you can repeat any variation of locust. When you're ready, if you have your feet, use the strength of your legs to push your feet into your hands and lift your upper body. Yes, so think about grounding down through your thighs, pushing your feet into your hands, and then opening up across the chest. Let's see if you can draw your inner thighs toward one another. One more breath in, wherever you're at. Exhale and release, let it go. So if you took bow pose, it might feel good to bend your knees and find a little windshield wiper action going back and forth. Good. In the next couple of breaths, we're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. So if you want to come through hands and knees, or child's pose or puppy pose, do what you need to do to bring yourself back to neutral, and then find your downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into the air. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. And then slide your right knee between your hands. We're heading into half pigeon. Okay, so if you need any props under the right side of your hips to make yourself a little more level, you can like roll up a sweatshirt or a towel if you need that. Okay, otherwise, if your hips feel level and your back leg is extending straight back, you can go ahead and fold yourself forward if you want here. We're going to let this be a little more passive. Okay, we did a lot of active stuff. Okay, so letting that outside of the right hip get a really nice stretch. And settle in here and use these last few postures here to reconnect with the sensation of being grounded. So like right back to where we began. We started with that grounding sensation, and then we brought the energy up and moved through the practice. And now we're coming back down. So really feeling the parts of your body that connect to the ground. And then also staying with any sensations here that come up that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, so not staying with pain, but staying with discomfort is not a bad practice. Okay, what can you do? How can you breathe to make this tolerable? To be able to move through it. use your breath. So breathing into those spaces that are tight. One more slow breath in. Slow breath out. Start to bring yourself out of the posture, making your way back to downward facing dog. Feel free to shake out the right leg. Yeah, deciding what you need to do in between sides to make that right leg feel like it's part of your body again. When you're ready, go ahead and lift your left leg up, preparing it for half pigeon. And then settling the left knee between the arms. And coming all the way down. Okay, deciding maybe you need a prop on this side. The sides are different. And then taking your time as you settle into this posture. So one of the really nice things about these postures at the end that we hold a little bit longer is that you don't have to come into the full variation of the posture on the first breath. You have time. Okay, so you can take your time and you can let the posture evolve. And evolve doesn't always mean go deeper. It can also mean ease out. So what does it mean to you? How does this posture serve you? And if it doesn't, what else can you do? So pay attention here. These postures at the end of class can be really tempting to kind of zone out. It can be really tempting to think about where you're heading after class. See if you can invite yourself to stay present, to stay in the sensation, to stay with the practice, even if it's less exciting, less palatable. A few more breaths here. Begin to ease yourself out of the posture. One last time. Maybe one last down dog, one last shake of the left leg. And then make your way to a seated position. Extend the legs out in front of you. We'll do one last seated forward fold. Okay, so seated forward fold, legs can be together or they can be slightly parted. Inhale, start with the spine extended, arms up. And as you exhale, lengthen your upper body forward. So if you have any tenderness in your lower back, or if you have really tight hamstrings, bend your knees here, widen your feet a little bit. And settle in here. 3 more breaths. Release the forward fold. Ease your way onto your back. Knees bend. Bring your knees into your chest just as we began. Circle the knees, rock the knees. Massage out your lower back. Good. Spinal twist of your choice. Pick a side. Start. Any way it feels good to twist your spine. If you're on one side, go ahead and switch sides. Take your time. Bring your knees back through center and set yourself up for your final relaxation posture. That can be traditional corpse. That can be any restorative posture. That can be seated meditation, as always. You've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to be still. 2 minutes to just be in your body and notice what it feels like at the end of your practice. Coming into stillness and just watching your breath. Allow your breath to begin to deepen. And begin to invite just a little bit of movement back into your body. When you feel ready, you can start to make the transition back to seated. Coming to face forward. We'll finish our class together, sitting up nice and tall. And bringing our hands together at our heart. Together we fold forward, sealing in your yoga practice. Namaste.